Well, a very good morning from Phuket, and today I'm actually in Kamala. We're going to have a quick look at the beach area. It's the 27th of December, so a couple of days after Christmas Day, and it's a little after 9:30 in the morning. What am I doing over in Kamala? Well, I've actually dropped a car off with Nat because Nat has now got a car and motorbike rental business, and we thought what we would do, it would be the perfect opportunity to catch the Smart Bus back. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be taking a look at the Smart Bus. Now, some of you will have seen that tourism is really picking up. In the last month or so, we've seen a very large surge. A few people on the beach this morning, as I say, it's a little after 9:30 in the morning, so we're still very early, but as you're going to see, there's people about now. Beautiful weather we're having as well. The last week has really picked up. We're now definitely well and truly in high season. Blue skies, very little wind, and very hot as well. Very warm indeed. Nat's just popped to the toilet and I'm just waiting for her to come back, and then we're going to make our way to a place where I know in Kamala called Ying Cafe. We're going to have a spot of breakfast there, and then once we've had some breakfast, we're going to make our way to where we catch the Smart Bus. And the Smart Bus is just a great way of getting around cheaply if you don't want to pay for taxis, because it's a fixed price at the moment, which is 100 baht per trip, and of course you can travel down the, let's get it right, the west coast of Phuket using the Smart Bus. Of course they do run from the airport, so you can catch the Smart Bus from the airport down to several drop-off points, and what I will do is in the description down below I will list all the places where the Smart Bus stops and passes through, so you can get on or off there, so you don't necessarily have to use it from the airport. You can get on, like us today, to Kamala, and we are going to Kata, so we're going to go from Kamala to Kata on the Smart Bus for 100 baht, which I think is a great deal. So Nat's here now. Come on then, Nat, let's go and take a wander, and we're going to make our way to Ying's Cafe, which is a little bit further down that way in front of us. And we're going to make our way to the sort of main area, the main town of Kamala. Have a look, there's a few beach vendors there setting up, but it is looking a lot better here in Kamala, a lot better, a lot busier. You can see the sun loungers there out, plenty of choice on those. A few little stalls here, so you're going to be able to buy bits and pieces for the beach, souvenirs and beach mats. I can see swimwear. Just check out that weather. Look at the sea today, isn't that beautiful? Absolutely beautiful today. But it's been like this now for the last, well, 5 days I think. Absolutely blue skies and very little wind. So what do you get? As I say, this video isn't really about beach, but I thought I'd show it you anyway because we're here. It's about the Smart Bus, because I know there's a lot of people asking me in my Facebook group. Again, if you haven't joined my group, check out the description, the link's down there. Do join it, because there's a lot of useful information in the group and a lot of members that will share their experiences as well. But there's a lot of people asking me about how to get round Phuket cheaply, because obviously taxis can be an expensive option. Of course, hiring a motorbike or a car, not there. Don't forget to check out our hire business. But if you don't want to hire a vehicle, which I understand some people don't, and they want to use local transport, like the local buses, the Smart Bus is a good option. Now, it doesn't go everywhere, as I've said. It does have pre-set stops, so you can't just go just anywhere on it, but it can be very useful because you can go from here, Kamala, down to Karon, Kata, Rawai, Patong even. We're just by the Sun Palm here and Sun Prime, but you can see that's actually quite busy there. It is very busy, a lot of people there. So as I say, I will come back to you shortly once we arrive at Ying's Cafe, and then we shall talk about the Smart Bus a little bit more when we go to find out where the stop is in Kamala. We're just coming down to Ying's Cafe now. It's just near the bar area that I've shown before on the channel, so if you're wondering where it is, but if you want to pop in and grab yourself a bit of breakfast or lunch, Ying's Cafe, it's a great place, not very expensive, good breakfasts, can't really ask for much more. So this is Ying's Cafe just in front here, next to the pizza corner. We're going to drop in there, we're going to have a spot of breakfast, so I'm going to come back to you in a little while. Quick look at the menu. I'm not going to spend much time with that, you can come and have a look at yourselves. Well, we're going to put an order in and then I'm going to quickly show you the food and then we're going to jump to the Smart Bus. So the breakfasts have now arrived. I've ordered a big breakfast which was 159 baht, and Nat has ordered the small breakfast which was 109 baht. It comes with fresh orange juice and coffee which is refillable. So we finished breakfast. I'm just waiting for Nat to pay the bill and then we're going to make our way down the main road to find where the Smart Bus picks up, and then we shall jump on the Smart Bus and take a trip to Kata. Quite a busy little cafe, lots of people coming and going. They do take away stuff as well. So it's now called the Hotpan Cafe. It's still run by Ying, but it used to be Ying's Cafe. She's obviously changed her name over the last few months. It's been a while since I last came, but great place to drop in and have a spot of breakfast. So let's now make our way down to where the Smart Bus parks. Yeah, I think the pickup's the other side of the road somewhere. We need to ask somebody, one of the shops or something, if they know. I've just been on the Smart Bus's Facebook page to find out where we've got to catch it, and there's actually two places where it stops. Obviously you'll have to check the times of the day what you want to catch the bus, but one of those places is opposite the Big C supermarket here in Kamala, and the other place is the Fantasy Show car park. So we're going to catch it obviously outside the Big C. Nat's just asked somebody to double check and they've just said a little bit further along the road, so we're just a little bit past Big C. We're going in the direction of Patong today because of course we want to go to Kata, so we're on the opposite side of the road of Big C. But of course if you was going to the airport you would be on the other side and the times are different. So this is why I say check out the Facebook page. I will link it in the description down below, sorry, so that you can get on there, and they've got a bus timetable on there. It's quite easy to work out because the top part is coming from the airport and the bottom section is going to the airport, and then they have all the destinations listed. There's Nat, you can see there's a little bus stop sign. I'm guessing it must stop around here because Nat's walking down here. She has checked with somebody, and we've got the Big C Kamala sign there, and this is where you wait for, I guess, the buses. So not only the Smart Bus but also the local bus, the blue bus, which I'm going to do a separate video on. The time now is just coming up towards 11 o'clock. I'll just have a quick look. It's 10:38 and the bus arrives around 11 AM for us. That's the next pickup. I think they run about once every hour. Just need to be a little bit patient because it depends on the traffic, but it shouldn't be much longer now. And then we're going to start our journey from Kamala down into Kata, which, as I've mentioned earlier, is 100 baht at the moment per person, and it's 100 baht no matter where you get on or off the bus, so you can stay on as long or as little and it's the same price. So it's great value if you're getting the Smart Bus from the airport and travelling all the way down to, say, Roll Y, which is the last stop. So for 100 baht that is a real bargain. So a great, easy, cheap way of getting around the island. Of course it doesn't go everywhere, as I've mentioned. Do check out the stops, but on the west coast of Phuket it covers most of the main resorts. So the Smart Bus has just arrived. I'm going to jump on. Nat is going to pay the driver. Bit of a queue. So you can see on the side of it where it's running to. It is actually 20 minutes later than what the timetable says, so just bear that in mind. If you're using it to get to the airport, allow a little bit of extra time. And that was just saying there that somebody's got on with a bicycle. So you can bring a bike on here, but you're going to have to pay separately for the bike. Do you know how much that was, Nat?
100 baht.
So another 100 baht. So if you bring in a bicycle on the bike, if you bring in a bicycle on the bus, you're going to have to pay 100 baht for the bike and 100 baht for yourself. It's worth knowing. Okay, we're off and we're on our journey towards Kata. Our first stop is, of course, Patong. Very busy today on here. It's almost full. There's a few seats. So again, just bear that in mind if you're using the smart bus, because we are in high season now and there's a lot of people here on the island at the moment, so public transport may be busy. So just allow for that. So we're now just coming into Kalim, which is on the edge of Patong. We're going to see where this bus stops. It looks like it's going to stop in Kalim because somebody's just got up now to get off. A large cruise ship in the bay there in the distance. This guy's asked to get off at a certain place. I think as long as it's along the route, the driver will stop for you. So we're literally by the island now at the top part of Patong Beach, just on the very edge of Kalim, Patong. There we go, the beach sign. We're going to see where it stops in Patong. So we're now on Ratchatit Road. We've just entered Ratchatit and it looks like they've got a drop off here with a guy with a bike. So I'm presuming as long as it's on the route, as I mentioned just, you can mention it to the driver and he should be able to let you off where you need to go. So it looks like some more people are getting off further down Ratchatit. You can see a police check there, so police check here in Patong. We've just passed through one in Kamala as well, between Kamala and Kalim. So we're getting a second stop here on Ratchatit, which is just a little way up from Bangla Road. So now we're having a third stop along Ratchatit. Again, it looks like as long as you tell the driver, just get up and let him know that you want to get off, you're going to be able to get off, but there's nobody getting on, so just bear that in mind. Yeah. So you need to get on the smart bus as the designated bus stops, but you can get off anywhere along the route if you let the driver know. So we're now at the main stop for Patong, which is right outside the Central Shopping Mall and Jonsilon Shopping Mall. So this is the main area. Nobody's got up, so he's not stopping. And I presume he's going to go to the bottom of Ratchatit, follow it all the way to the little roundabout and turn right heading towards Karon. As you can hear the driver, and there's the bus stop, and this is outside of the Sleep With Me hotel here in Patong. Yeah, and also the PEA, which is the Provincial Electric Authority. So that's where you're going to find your bus stop for the direction of a Rawai. So obviously it's different if you're going to the airport, you'll want a different stop. Okay, so now today I've seen 3 separate police checks coming from Kamala going towards Kata. Driver shouting, police, police. So bear that in mind. If you're hiring a vehicle, make sure you've got all the proper documentations, because the police are out at the moment. As I've mentioned on several of my previous videos, plenty of checks today. We're about midday now, coming up towards 12 o'clock, so it's going to be very difficult to miss all the police checks. Well, we've just arrived in Karon, just a little ways from the roundabout, which is just behind me, and we're going to be driving down Beach Road. Okay, okay, so we've come to the end of our journey. We've just arrived in Kata. We're just outside the Kata Palm. So that was my first experience of the Smart Bus, and I have to say it was a very pleasant one. You do have to be a bit flexible on the times as regards getting onto the bus and it arriving at the bus station. They don't run like clockwork. The bus was 15 minutes late, but it's just 12 o'clock, just after 12 o'clock when we've just got off the bus. So we got on at about 11:15, so it's taken roughly 45 minutes to get from Kamala down into Kata Beach. So a very pleasant experience, and I think if you're doing any distance on the west side of the island, then the Smart Bus is a great option. But if your hotel where you're staying happens to be along the Smart Bus's route, then it's a great way of getting around for very cheap at 100 baht per person per trip. But you do need to get on the bus at the designated stops. I haven't seen anybody actually getting on the bus anywhere along the route, only at the actual proper stops. Now, as I mentioned on the Smart Bus, I did see a number of police checks, 3 in total during my journey, so they are about, so just be careful and mindful of that. If you're going to be hiring a vehicle, make sure everything's correct, because it's going to be difficult to avoid the police checks all the time if you haven't got the proper licenses, etc. And I think that covers everything that I wanted to say today. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I guess that just leaves me to say, as always, until next time, you take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.